Welcome back everybody to the Venezia Takeover. I'm looking at this page here, Sebastian Pite. Now, I mentioned in a couple of episodes ago about how you guys should be looking for this head of youth development because he's a really good head of youth development. And then I had a comment from somebody who, quite rightly as well, put, be careful when going for somebody like Sebastian Pate because he has no knowledge of Italy. And this guy also put that when he used Sebastian Pate in his save in Italy, because he had no Italian knowledge, he had some terrible youth intakes for a few years before the guy, the head of youth development, actually gain knowledge, sufficient knowledge so that he could sign Italian players. Is that something that you've ever thought of before? Because I never did. And it wasn't until that this guy rightly put in my comment section about it that it kind of made me trigger and think, that's a very good point. So that's how we're starting today. Just wondering whether you guys have ever thought the same, whether you guys have ever experienced the same thing, whether you guys don't think it's true. I'm interested to know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, we've obviously had the January transfer window. Not much has happened, no outs, but we did have an in, which will be joining us at the end of the season. Again, it's somebody that somebody recommended me in the comments. I'd already signed him before when I seen your comment. Gianluca Gaetano, a fantastic Italian midfielder. 23 when we confirmed it. He'll be 24 when he joins, so that still counts, by the way. And he is absolutely fantastic. From Napoli, a free transfer. He's got attributes in the right places, in roles that we definitely need people in. So obviously that centre midfield role and that centre attacking midfield role. It's nice to bolster these with players who I do actually consider to be better. And I like his player traits too. Gets forward whenever possible. And if we do ever switch back to a formation or a tactic with wingers, he would also be helpful there too because he has some good attributes to play there. And he doesn't play there like naturally, but it's very much accomplished roles on both flanks. Now, I mentioned about the staff, how I'm going to try and bring in a lot more staff, so I thought I'd show you the transfer window of staff members coming in and out. We got rid of Abubakar Bar, who we signed in the first season, the technical director, because we've got a better one. Now that we are a little bit more established, we've managed to sign this guy instead. Again, it's another regen, but he's better at judging staff ability and negotiating, and he's Italian, good determination, people management. I like him, so his personality is determined as well, which can have an effect on who they bring in. We've also brought in a head of sports science, a goalkeeping coach, and a physio to help fill these roles out. I still need to work on these roles though, because although we have the majority of positions filled, we need to now keep improving these roles. So every time maybe we have another episode, we can look at this and see if we are improving, because we're getting a lot better. If you remember rightly, when we first started this save, we were the lowest average in Serie A. Now we're kind of halfway or above average in a lot of different roles. The recruitment side of things is definitely where we need to bolster the most, but at the same time, I'm not as worried about that because I know I'm quite good at finding players myself. It's more of the staff and the bits that I can't do, like coaching players, that I think will need to try and get to the highest average first, but we're lowest in the scouts, for instance. So that's the scouting side of things. I thought we'd take a quick look at the club vision just to show you how we're doing there. We've passed going through to the second round minimum in the Coppa Italia, and also as we are right now, mid-table in Serie A, we're delighted because we're a little bit higher than mid-table. Working within the wage budget we're on course to do, and we're satisfied playing defensively. We're not playing defensively, but we are an A-, which is fantastic. And we have completed improving the training facilities. Bit by bit, we're making this club better from obviously just a newly promoted team which didn't really have much to now we're going to try and build a bit of a dynasty here. Try and build an actual club for the future. After when we leave, they should be more substantial. Now, of course, we've been using a different formations. I thought it'd be good to show you what our pass map looks like on the data hub, because I think it's quite an attractive pass map. We can see the key moments are from the fullback or the wing on that right hand side there. Bosco Sottulo on the wide centre back, but he's playing ball player. We've got Enrico Del Prato getting very much involved. Both fullbacks are getting involved, which is key. Obviously, I mentioned how we need to strengthen the fullbacks. We brought in Jose Carlos, and he's working very well which most of the time with Francesco Forte and the left centre-back Ceccheroni, but we need to kind of improve the right-hand side. I think Del Prato's good. I don't think he's amazing, so that might be something that we need to focus on. Schedule-wise, it's not been great since we last met. We've had one victory, a fantastic one against Roma, a 3-2 victory where we kind of dominated as well. Brenner and Forte both getting the goals there, but we've had a lot of draws. We drew against Verona 0-0, Sassuolo 0-0, and Atalanta 2-2. We lost to Udinese, which is a bad result, especially at home. We were knocked out of the cup by Lazio, which kind of expected, but only after extra time. And we were down to 10 men after 6 minutes. And the Genoa game, a disappointing game. 2-1. So we do have AC Milan up next in this episode. We are currently sat in 7th place though, with a game in hand over Lazio. So if we do win this, we go above them and we actually close the gap to Milan. But I think they're kind of a little bit further ahead of their top 4. We're not quite there. 8 points adrift of top 4. But before we go any further and play that game, today's video is sponsored by SPITCH. Now, SPITCH are the ultimate fantasy football app that is brand new to the market. It lets you build your own team, collect your points, and battle against other managers. For instance, myself, you can join my community league. There'll be a link down below for that. Omega Dad's in there too. So if you think on a day-by-day basis you can beat me or Dad in fantasy football, why not join us? And I say day-by-day because this isn't like the classic fantasy football where if you miss a week, then you kind of screw up your whole season. This is done on daily competitions, and each of these competitions, they're free to enter and you can win up to £70,000 on a weekly basis. Now, it is only for UK and Ireland players only, and you do have to be over 18, so unfortunately if you're not there, you can't join. But if you're lucky enough to be able to buy a pint in this country, then you should definitely join SPITCH. You should join my league. There's loads of statistical analysis in the app as well to help you make that decision. I think Dan's been enjoying that the most, to be fair, which makes me think he's going to be the most difficult player to come up against. So if you follow my link down below, like I mentioned, it's free in the description. You'll also support me as a content creator for doing so, and I will leave that link down below to join my community league. It's very easy to register. If I can do it, you can definitely do it too. You just have to pick the league, select your players, and battle against me and Dad. I'll see you in there. Now, back to the match. Like I mentioned, we're against AC Milan. They're 5th currently, and they have made a few decent signings. Diego Jota being one of them, who currently plays a false 9. I don't really know. I've already picked the team, so this is what we're going to look at going into today's game. The two poachers are going to be Forte and Brenner. We have Diamonde in that attacking midfielder role. I've been using him recently because he didn't start a lot of games in that first half that we simulated, but when I've been using him throughout the January transfer window, he's been very good indeed. Brescianani gets to start alongside Puertes, Del Prato on the right, Jose Carlos on the left, and our back three that we know and love with Valido in the net. We've got Sheldrop on the bench, of course, of dangerous man Luca, who is kind of like our deep line playmaker. Some really good names on the bench should we need to bring on some fresh legs, but I'm quietly confident that we might be able to cause an upset here at the San Siro, but that's famous last words. Ronald Koeman is their manager, which is also quite interesting, really. Obviously, AC Milan does have quite a nice little Dutch link there, so he just seems to find these European clubs with Dutch links, I guess, following the footsteps of his previous managers, Johan Cruyff, for instance, going to Barcelona, now going across with Van Basten and Hullet and Rijkaard there in AC Milan in the late 80s and early 90s. What a fantastic team that was. But are they as fantastic as the Venezia team that we have built? They're probably a little bit better. If I'm honest, I mean, they were like European champions multiple times. We're not there yet, but we will be in this Venezia takeover. It might take a few seasons to go, though. Let's see how we do. Now, they've got a few dangerous players in that midfield, so it might be wary to play in there. We have a good start there with Jose Carlos getting the ball across. Del Prato's got a lot of space. He's kind of wasted it, though. He took way too long to bring the ball down. Brescianini, of course, we bought from AC Milan. It's a lovely little 1-2-3. Oh, what a goal that is. That is beautiful football. Francesco Forte smashes it in the top corner. I am loving that. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, remember, viewers, Youth to Gold has started on Twitch. On the second channel, where there's a link down below in the description, The first stream is live on there should you wish to watch it if you didn't manage to catch it live. Make sure you watch that because it's kind of like this, just a little bit more strung out. Youth to Gold, very similar to the principles that we've put in place here. So thank you everybody who's been supporting this. The numbers on it have been fantastic. And of course, if you subbed to me and Dad's channel, that's very kind of you as well. I hope you've enjoyed the talks that we've been given. Forte's now in. It's a lovely ball. Simon Kjars caught him up though. Oh my God, he's kicked it against Forte's head. Mike Mannion almost had a big blunder there, but what a start we have had. 22 minutes in and we have rocked Milan. They haven't even had a shot yet. It is complete domination from us so far. Puertes, Diamande, Forte causing a lot of trouble. Scalvini and Del Prato is also playing very well. Defensively, we're causing chaos. We need to keep that up though. Pabega, it's a good ball through to Jota. Brahim Diaz. And just like that, things have turned completely on their heads. It's going to go to VAR, but I've got a feeling it is onside. It is. Oh, that's so disappointing. The first attack of the game, it did look off. Did look slightly off. Brahim Diaz smashes it in. Oh, I'm so gutted about that. Because of how well we started, it's almost like, oh, for God's sake. But okay, fair enough. We go again. Lazio's also drawing right now with Parma. So if we do manage to get an even better result than them, fantastic. With a game in hand and we go above them. Brahim Diaz is in again though. Valido has made the save, but rightly so. The offside flag has been raised. More free kicks coming in, but Valido retrieves it really well. Now, be patient with this. If we go to the right-hand side, we've got a lot of space there. He's toying around with it. He's gone long. He's gone all the way. Brenner's in. Oh, it's a fantastic tackle by Theo Hernandez. What a kick that was from Valido. We might still see part of the highlight because I don't think that was the official highlight, but it was a great chance. Brenner almost used his pace to his advantage there. Romagnoli in no man's land. Never watch the ball go over your head. Calabria's just stood there with the ball. I mean, we're happy for you to do that. What can you do from this? Oh, he's found it now. He's got a lot of time and space. What a ball that is. Oh, we've been punished. Sunk into my chair because I'm gutted. We've been punished. And just like that, again, it just goes to show if you don't take your chances in these big games, it's going to cost you. It really is going to cost you because that's a fantastic pass. Really is a fantastic pass. All right, let's not let our heads drop though. Now, just before, right on the stroke of half time, there is 2 minutes added on. Pabega's in. Is he off? Don't tell me that's going to count as well. I still can't tell. I still can't tell. I think it's counted. How have we let that happen? A simple ball over the top. A midfield runner. Oh, I think that's definitely you. Ceccaroni again. He's just watched him. I know he was on the back of Bresciani, but Ceccaroni literally has nobody there. All he should be doing is, he's got to watch where the ball is, but if you can see a guy running towards him, mark him. Follow his run. Maybe Bresciani needs to give him a shout. Oi, he's on your way. Man on. Whatever you shout. Come on, man. That's way too easy. We can rescue a draw, though. We've had chances. We've definitely had chances. We can score two second half goals. Simple. We've done it before. We just need to keep it out the other end as well because we started off this game really good defensively. It's been poor ever since I mentioned it. Ever since they didn't have a shot. It's been poor ever since then. Hernandez, Kessie. Great tackle from our ball winner. That's lovely. Diamonde's in. You got to put it away. He's dinked it. Oh, it's beautiful, viewers. It is absolutely beautiful. Mohamed Diamonde, of course, is another star that we have in the Norgeland Youth to Gold save on Twitch. It's fantastic. Him and Shelder up, both of them. But that is beautiful. In off the bar. It doesn't even hit the net. That is a sexy goal. That is such a sexy goal. Another one of those, please. Right, I've made 3 changes because Jose Carlos has picked up a yellow. He's having a bit of a stinker, 5.9. So Haps has come on. Del Prato again is a little bit tired. So Satulo's gone out to the right. We brought in Dragusan in that centre-back role to fill the gap. And we've brought on Fiordilino in that centre midfield role. Bresciani's coming off. He's got a bit of an average game and has a bit of fresh legs in that midfield. They've just brought on Giroud, so they are obviously terrified that we're going to come back and we're going to score another goal here. And I don't blame them. Scalvini, despite conceding 3 goals, has a 7.1. He's having a cracker. We have a set piece though. Forte's there. It's Forte. It's goal. It's 3-3. What a game we have on our hands here at the San Siro after going 1-0 up. It's now 3-3. This Come on, what a header that is. Bang! He has been fantastic for us so far, especially this season. Alongside Brenner, Brenner's been great as well. Brenner might not be getting as many goals, but I think that's because Forte does score quite a lot from set pieces, but both of them have been playing their part. They've changed a little bit of formation. Maybe they are really rocked. We've got the ball now, 79th minute. Surely we're not going to bag a winner. Forte's in there again. It's been spilled, but Flordino's won it. Puertes, back out to Sotelo. Find that cross again. There it is. Forte again. Oh, it's in. Come on. Get in. Let's go. Forte. Another one. Is that a hat-trick for him? Diamande got one. Forte has 3. It is a hat-trick. I'm sure it is. Sotelo, another fantastic cross. Mike Mannion, maybe you should be saving that. Maybe you should. But yes, Forte has a hat-trick. Oh, right after though, they have a set piece. Back post. It's been cleared, Frank Kessie. Now, we just need to do the right amount of press. Don't need to get caught. There we go. Now we distribute the ball perfectly and set up a counter-attack. Sotelo. All right, we're being patient. I don't mind that. Puertes. There we go. Brenner. No, he's not going to win it. Second ball, though. Right, this is what we need to be careful of. They got big men in there now. Calabria crosses it in. Giroud. You don't see Giroud miss many. Forte would have scored that, though. Right, it's time to batten down the hatches, isn't it? We're going to time waste. We've lowered the tempo. We're being more disciplined. Taking off pass into space as well. No, I'm still going to stick with the trigger press. Still going to stick with that. We are really tired, though. We are really tired. So it's more of a case of just time wasting. Play as we are. Don't attract any pressure, but time waste a little bit. Romagnoli to Theo Hernandez. Brahim Diaz. Giroud. They got a man spare there. Diogo Jota. Oh, Haps. Lovely stuff. The diving header back to the keeper. I'm a huge fan of that. I very much am a huge fan of that. Don't kick it long. Just go short. There we go. Lovely. Dragoson to Puertes. Oh, to Sotelo. It's behind him. That's the problem. Behind him. It allowed Theo Hernandez back in. Benasser's got a chance now. Calabria. Pulls it back to Giroud. He isn't missing that one, and he's onside. Olivier Giroud. He doesn't miss 2 in the game, does he? He doesn't miss 2 in one game. Oh, I'm so gutted about that. So gutted. To Calabria. Look at that back post run. It just hasn't been picked up. I think we do have a problem with this 3 at the back. The problem is responsibility. Scalvini, there's only so much that kid can do. Sotelo is decent, but when he's been asked to go out on the right because Del Prato's struggling and we have to bring on a substitute, these substitutes need it, and Ceccherini, of course, or Ceccheroni, really needs to take responsibility. A 4-4 though, an absolute classic at the San Siro. Very happy with how that has gone, considering we were 3-1 down. I would have took a draw for sure then. It's just gutting, of course, that we went in the lead and we didn't win. There was a couple of tactical tweets. Yes, how do you feel the two teams fared against each other from a tactical perspective? I learnt a lot, which is a good thing. I'll go away and think about how we can, let's do that. There's so many like bullcrap comments, aren't there, in the press conferences, but there we go. Lazio also drew, so it's not too bad. If they'd won that against Parma, we would have been like, that's a chance big time missed. But of course, we're going to simulate the rest of this season now and see how we end up. And to be honest, I'm hotly anticipating finishing roughly where we are now, if not in that Lazio position. I really do. I really do think we can get there. Oh, that was our game in hand, so we're 1 point behind. Yeah, I fancy our chances. Sassuolo is there or thereabouts. Fiorentina and Roma as well, right on our tails. But I don't know. I don't think we can get as high as Atalanta, but I won't be surprised, mark my words, if we finish in 6th place. So I'll see you at the end of the season. And so, at the end of the season, we have just missed out by a point on European spots. It was Lazio who was the team just above us, but Fiorentina have come out of nowhere and pinched 6th, which was the UEFA Europa League, and we finished in the EC2. Well, no, we didn't. Lazio did. We are 1 point off it, which is so devastating, really, when we come that close. But at the same time, it's promising because the teams that we have now overcome and started surpassing, and we need to kick on from that. Hopefully we get a little bit of money. We haven't been given next year's budget yet. But I think the most important things to look at, Francisco Forte managed to get 32 goals, joint top scorer with Lautaro Martinez, which isn't a bad act at all, is it? The guy is now 31 years of age, so how long can he prolong this type of performance from us? Interesting that he come from Pisa, where there is another giant over there, Lorenzo Luca, a little bit taller than Francesco Forte, but still very similar attributes. We had the most yellow cards in Puertes and Sotelo. That's no surprise to me either, because we had a few suspensions throughout the season. Forte got 13 player of the matches behind Dybala. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Towards the end of the season, this is what I simulated it with. So playing Forte and Brenner and Jose Carlos at left back with Valido and goal, Scalvini and Sotelo. Brenner did pick up an injury though, and he has been out. Well, actually, he hasn't been out that long. He's only just missed out 5 days to 2 weeks, so he hasn't missed that many games. He himself scored 22 goals this season, which is great. So as a pairing, managing to get 55 goals is fantastic for a club like Venezia, who are trying to battle and become a mid-table team. And I think we've done that really successfully, to be honest. So, I mean, the other competitions, obviously, we got knocked out by Lazio in that Coppa Italia. Let's take a look at the schedule itself and see, because it went very wrong after playing Lazio themselves, which is interesting, right? So we had the 4-4 draw against AC Milan. We then went on a 5-game winning streak. Torino, a 4-1 win. Napoli, a 2-0 win. Bologna 1-0, even with 10 men. We had a 3-2 victory against Empoli and a 3-1 victory against Salernitana. Good victory there where we scored 2 really early goals. Then it was a 2-2 draw against Fiorentina, a 2-2 draw against Lazio, and at this point, we are in control. 24th of March. We'll look at that in past positions. Then it was 3 losses in a row. 2 you can understand, a bit of a drum in there by Italian Inter Milan, and then Juve, who won the league, beat us 2-1. We actually conceded a hat-trick to Lautaro Martinez, which meant that obviously he joined with Forte for the Golden Boot. Lecce, a 3-1 victory, that was the only win that we managed to secure post-March. After that, we had a 3-5 loss to Sassuolo, 0-0 to Udinese, a 1-0 loss to Atalanta, 0-0 again to Hellas Verona. We could have done with that win. Hellas Verona, that's the big opportunity there at the end. It's so disappointing, really, isn't it? That's such a shame. But okay, let's take a look then at past positions and see exactly how we did throughout the season. Remember when we're looking at March? So I think it's around about here. Yeah, so here we go. 24th of March, when we drew against Lazio, we were currently sat in 6th place. And despite us losing the next 3 games, we were still in 6th place, and yet we still dropped off down 2 positions. It was in our hands. Quite interesting that we were atop the league at one point. It was in our hands to finish in European spots, and in fact, 8th place was the lowest position we were all season. That is a huge success in my eyes. So goals wise then, we know 33 and 22 from Brenner. Assists come from Aramu, who managed to get 9. Average rating 7.75 from Francisco Forte. On the outs right now, we do have a few players who are looking to leave all the way down here. So they're going to need replacing, because we need to keep building this team. We need to keep building this squad. We don't have anything in the budget right now. Of course, we've got Gaetano and Vasovic coming. He joins us in this summer too. Let's take a look at him, because he has progressed quite nicely, I would think. So yeah, perfect as like a backup striker, maybe coming into the youth team. And yeah, it's all down to who we can bring in. I think that's the most important thing. Over the summer, I will be looking to try and do a little bit more with the staff, potentially getting these up now. Now that we're a little bit higher reputation again, it might work out. Also, youth intake, we did have one. It wasn't that great. So I am wondering whether that point I made at the start, whether that's the case. Because, of course, he isn't Italian. He doesn't know the Italian teams, the Italian country to look for these youngsters to bring them into our club. And that's maybe why our best player so far is a Moroccan player who he doesn't really look like he's going to become anything special other than that. Johnny Hunter, that's English. No, he is Italian, called Johnny Hunter. He's American. That makes sense. Our owners are American. But yeah, we need to kind of look into whether or not it is worth bringing in an Italian head of youth development, or whether we just need to wait until Sebastian Payet becomes a little bit more aware of Italy, because at the minute, 47%. Can we risk that for another couple of seasons? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. And of course, we'll be back next week, Wednesday, for another episode and the start of season number 4 already. So make sure you do not miss it. Turn on notification bells. Maybe you need to do that. Check out the second channel for the Youth to Gold. Check out me and Dad's channel for some football talk. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.